Good morning and welcome to TalkSports. It is our weekend program, or Saturday Sports Special as we call it. It's also where we meet with the movers and shakers of sports, the sportsmen, sportswomen, sports administrators, the coaches, just about everyone involved in sports. As indicated on this weekend's program, we'll be speaking a variety of sporting developments taking place. We'll be looking at the ongoing Paralympics in Paris. Grenada is participating in that. We'll also be looking at the Chess Olympiad, which will be taking place in Budapest, and Grenada is sending a very large contingent to that as well. Also on the radar will be the ongoing, the Caribbean Premier League Cricket T20 Tournament that's ongoing, as well as we'll talk about the CONCACAF Nations League. You know, it started this week in earnest, and Grenada played last night. Some interesting developments with some of the scores in the region as well. So we'll be talking about that as well, and other things that actually taking place. So no doubt a lot to be discussed on this weekend's program. Just to let you know that my co-host, Rudy and Sylvan, is not around this weekend. Sort of a hiatus, I should say, for, sometimes, you have to get a little rest. But I think he has some other chores that he's dealing with today. So hopefully I know he'll be monitoring and probably join us when he gets the chance. Folks, so that's what we'll be talking about. But first of all, we'll be heading over to Paris to speak with the chef de mission of the Grenada Paralympic team, Mr. Alvin Clouden. As you know, Grenada participating, two athletes competing. And, while they may not be on the podium in terms of medals, they have been doing quite a lot, significant achievements for those Paralympic athletes. Let's say it's afternoon in Paris. Let me say good afternoon to Mr. Alvin Clouden. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Clouden.
Good afternoon, Michael, and to your listening audience and viewing audience. Yeah, it's almost 5 o'clock here in Paris. Just about getting ready to leave to go to the stadium. Tyler Smith, our second athlete, is in competition this afternoon at 8 p.m. Paris time, which is 2 p.m. in Grenada. So in the next 3 hours, as a person who have been to many Olympics, we got to get there at least 3 to 4 hours ahead of time, check the traffic and that kind of stuff. So we'll be doing that shortly.
Right, that's good to know. Let's look at, so we have Ishona Charles, who also participated. So let's start with her performances, and as you know, in the shot put, the throws, I should say in particular. Tell us about her achievements in Paris.
Ishona on the 4th, so that was the Wednesday, had 3 personal best throws, one after the other. Her first throw was 8.6. Her second was 9.1, and the last one was 9.66. Significant improvement throughout the 3 throws, and therefore has established a national record, and I would say an English-speaking Caribbean record, because in her classification of F46, there are a few other female in that category in the Caribbean or who have actually attended the games. So Ishona has done us proud. There is more that can be done, but that's what we will do when we get back to plan for future games.
Yeah, well, she indicated that her readiness, and that I guess as much, she's really inspired and encouraged by that performance for Los Angeles 2028.
It's the first time I've seen Ishona want to participate in terms of being hungry, because she got there and realized that with her talent and ability, she can do a lot more. Aishona had a challenge during this year. She had for public knowledge, a medical issue which she had to overcome, dealt with, and put out her best efforts. So, kudos to her. She missed one of her international competitions this year, but she came out and gave it her best. And she's now very hungry.
Mm-hmm. That's encouraging. How do you think, Mr. Clouden, that the performances of these athletes, Tyler and Ishana, could inspire others? We say getting involved in the Paralympics in Grenada in particular, especially the parents and even at the school level. How do you think those sort of performances could?
While here, as you know, I also have a role with the National Sports Council. And I've had several meetings for the last week with different organizations, different stakeholders. It's a Caribbean challenge, but we got to get actively involved in several fronts and several key stakeholders. And as you rightly said, the parents is one, the school, but there are other institutions that we need to be engaged with. I've just come off with a discussion with Ms. Hilary Gabriel from the Grenada Council for the Disabled. And we have had a discussion. One of the things that we don't have in Grenada is data on the persons who are eligible to participate in these events. And we need to go out there, what we call talent identification, and looking for persons with a disability. And it's not only a physical disability. You have visual impaired, you have intellectual impairment. So there is a wide scope. But as you say, we've got to go out there. We have to go in the communities. But first of all, speak to the parents. President Ray Roberts is very passionate about the Special Olympics and has been doing a lot of work with them. There are opportunities there also. We've met with the international body for intellectually impaired. We are going to join that body shortly. Again, that's opportunities, but we have to engage all of the stakeholders, including the parents.
Mm-hmm. But do you think there, some of the challenges that you're facing is a stigma?
Oh yes, President Roberts always said so, and he gives himself as an example. People would call him that guy with the short foot or whatever. But there are parents we have been engaging who themselves do not want the public to know that their children have a physical disability. So awareness is going to be the watchword, is going to be what we are driving in 2024 for the rest of 2024 to 2028, because we have begun to plan for Los Angeles. We hope that the diaspora up there, led by yourself and others, can lend a hand in ensuring that we have a much bigger team. We have pre-training, but also identifying persons, and I've had a discussion with the president, identifying persons outside of Grenada in the diaspora with physical disabilities who can become part of our national team going forward.
Yeah, I think importantly is the getting over these major challenges, and it's one that we see not just in Grenada but in the Caribbean, for example. That and that's why you'll see outside of the Caribbean you have larger contingents. And just in the you look at Grenada, for example. I am certain that we can find at least more than 2 who can compete, and you're there and you're seeing the level of competition, and you know that not just probably in track and field but probably in other sporting events, probably the 3-on-3 basketball, for example, all these other sporting events.
And we have to get the president to play table tennis.
Well, that's another thing, you know. I'm certain the president could be on the podium, you know.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we have another gentleman for badminton. But again, is awareness and is a bit of a stigma. And also, you were right, we have to deal with this challenge of stigma. There is funding available, I would say. The government of Grenada, through the Ministry of Sports and the National Lottery, has come out, has extended themselves to ensure that para athletes and training and funding is always been available. It's never been a challenge. So we have to thank the ministry for that. So it's up to us now to go out there in the communities to find and to encourage and to put a program in place to deal with this.
Mhm. I know you're getting ready to head off, so just give us a wrap again in terms of, so Ishana has completed her participation.
Her two events, yes.
Yes.
Tyler participates and competes this evening in the F63 shot put. Tyler is again at a disadvantage where he is an F42. But because there were not sufficient competitors in the F42, he has been bumped up to compete at F63, which means he's going up with persons who have more physical ability than him. But he is courageous, he's committed to do this. He has had the same challenge last year when there were not sufficient persons in his category in Santiago, and he had to move up. So it's like a prep moving up to a juniors category. But we wish him the best, and we think he will do well.
Okay. Yes. Also wishing all the best, and certainly an experience for you and the team itself.
Oh yes, certainly. There is so much that we have learned, we have seen.
Knowledge sharing, right? Yeah.
Knowledge
Knowledge sharing.
sharing. There was this thing, always look and learn. I think we have looked, we have learned, and it's time for us to now come back to Grenada to implement. I think we'll get the support, but it's implementing now.
Okay, as part of the implementation, finally, do you think that we probably need to have more of the competitions for those athletes in Grenada itself?
Interestingly, I've just had a discussion. I'm actually just writing my report. And if I am, without having discussed it fully with the president, one of the things that we have to look at is the integration of para athletes into the normal sporting events. There is no reason why a track and field event cannot allow a para athlete to perform with the able-bodied persons. We can discuss the merits of it, but that will give them competition. Years ago, Grenada's netball team played extensively against the national men's basketball team. They got stronger, they got more prepared. Until we have 8 persons or 6 persons that will fill a lane or do a roster for one of the field events, we have to discuss the athletes being able to compete in events that federations can allow us to do that. And that's one of the things that I wish to discuss when we return.
Okay, then that's interesting enough. Your good friend, our good friend, Anglo Samuel is saying good morning, Mr. Clouden. Yeah. So
thank you, Anglo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Clouden. I wish you all the best.
All right, thank you so much, too.
Yeah, okay then. So that's Mr. Alvin Clouden live from Paris in France with the Paralympics ongoing. And as he said, Tyler is participating, representing Grenada in the shot put today. A bit of disadvantage, as explained by Mr. Clouden, in that he has to move up because there are insufficient competitors in his category. So he has to move to a higher category. All we can wish him all the best. Stand by. We'll be joined by Mr. Ruggles Ferguson in a moment to talk about chess. Yes, the Chess Olympiad. As soon as we get Mr. Ferguson on, we'll be speaking about our the chess players. Wow, it's a large contingent, and they are getting ready to head off to Budapest. It's Budapest, yes, I think Budapest, Hungary, and Mr. Ruggles Ferguson is standing by. He'll be speaking with us shortly. Let me see. Good. Let me see. Yes, I think he's with us now. Good morning, Mr. Ferguson. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Mike, and good morning to your listeners and viewers.
Nice seeing you, Mr. Ferguson, and certainly nice hearing. A lot has been taking place with the chess. I know you have been involved with the chess, and
Yes.
quite a bit. And it's very historic too. I must say that we have not just participation, but a large contingent participating,
Yes.
Representing Grenada in the Chess Olympiad. Give us a little synopsis of. Starting off with the Chess Federation in Grenada, first of all, because even before participating, and they have been preparing for quite a while, we have seen how the GBSS, or the tournament in particular, has been well decorated, full of young enthusiasts participating. So give us a little synopsis of the Chess Federation.
Yes, thanks, Mike. The Grenada Chess Federation was established in May 2019. In fact, in February 2019, we had a gathering of chess enthusiasts for the first time to meet with Grandmaster Short, Nigel Short, who is British and was once ranked as the third highest ranking player in the world once upon a time. And he was on a visit through the region in February 2019. And he came to Grenada, and well, the folks in the region have been trying to get me involved in chess and the organization of chess in Grenada, because I played a long time ago. But I indicated then that I had really too much on my plate. But then with Grandmaster Short's visit, and it was almost at the last moment, and really the rest is history. We had our first meeting in the Olympic House. We resolved to form a Grenada Chess Federation. We got the constitution and the rules, everything together. We had elections in May, and the rest is history. The federation was formed, and it has made a qualitative difference as far as chess is concerned. Chess is a game historically that has been played, just people playing it. There was no systems or organization. Many people attempted to, bring the game further than just fun, playing for fun. But those did not succeed. But ultimately, when the federation was formed, then things started to pick up. The objective was to bring chess nationwide, in communities, in schools, both primary and secondary schools, and to just have everybody playing chess. Because, there's this perception that chess is this very complex game. It's for intellectuals, it's for rich people, it's for special people in society. And that's one of the myths that we seek to destroy, that anybody can play chess, and you can use chess as a tool for education, discipline. It increases, it develops your concentration, and it's, in fact, is said that it is one of the ways you deal with memory loss, and to keep your memory active. So one of the early things we did, our focus in the early days was not on competition, but just on organizing chess and having everybody play chess. So out of the 5 years we have been in existence, 4 years, every year, and you mentioned it in your introductory remarks, we organize a chess camp in GBSS Auditorium every single year in August, without exception. And we had our last one in August this year. And we had the kids coming from all over, especially the kids, because we focus on the kids, but there's no age limit, and we teach people to play chess. Then we set up a committee, chess in schools and communities, and then went out to schools, targeted certain schools because we can't, of course, target all, and there were chess clubs formed. PBC, especially Presentation Brothers College, there was a teacher there who was involved in our camps and who is a chess enthusiast, brought some of the students to the GBSS auditorium. We supplied them with chess boards. They formed a club. Same thing with TAMCC. And I'll come to that because the composition of the team reflects the importance of having these chess clubs in schools, reflects the importance of the chess camp. So very early, within a year and a half of the formation of Grenada Chess Federation, we became a member because we had our constitution and everything. We were organized, we met the requirements to become a member of the International Chess Federation. And that again made a qualitative difference because the Olympiad is organized by FIDE. FIDE is the world governing body for chess. And since we became a member of FIDE, we have been able to get assistance, technical assistance, assistance with boards, assistance with training, and with all of these different elements, we have been able now to put together a team. In fact, 2024 was a qualitatively different year for us in terms of moving to competition. We moved from the stage of teaching people the game to the stage now of competition. So in March 2024, for example, our first overseas trip was to St. Vincent, because St. Vincent organized a bilateral St. Vincent versus Grenada chess competition, and we sent over a 5-member junior team, and that junior team won, came back with a trophy, came back very excited on a high, and then we, through the assistance of FIDE, which has a special commission for women in chess, and has a program to attract more and more women to chess. And there was a training opportunity in March, from March to June, with a FIDE trained coach. And we selected 5 women, well, 5 young people, because there's a 9-year-old involved, there was a 12-year-old involved. And every weekend for 3 months, there was training in chess. And these 5 young women formed the core of the female squad to the Budapest Olympiad. The Olympiad is held every 5 years. Every 2 years, sorry. The last was in Chennai, India. And this year is the 45th Olympiad. It coincides with the 100th anniversary of FIDE. So there are some special activities. And we have been able to, I describe it as a miracle in some, some regard, because we have been able to administratively, notwithstanding that everybody is busy, we don't have anybody full time, but to work through the maze of regulations and procedures with FIDE and be able to secure the participation of that team. And what is important about the team? One, it is a young team. Several of them got exposed to chess through the chess camps that we instituted. We have on the women's team, on the female team, a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, and both of them participated in the junior competition in St. Vincent in March. So they have some, as I describe it, overseas experience, young. In fact, the 9-year-old was 8 years, 9-year-old Toriel Frank. She was 8 years at the time, she's 9 years. And then we have 12-year-old Nazia James, who is now a first year. She just started this week, first year student of St. Joseph's Convent, St. George's. She was a a student of Our Lady Help of Christian, well, formerly Bolio RC School. It has been renamed, and both herself and Thoriel were members of the Bolio primary school. So that's how important it is. They are primary school students essentially, and heading to Budapest.
That was the female. What's about the male now? Because I had the female up. This is let me see.
The male team.
The male team? Yeah,
the male. Yes. So the male team you see on the extreme left there, that's Renale Gilbert. He is in fact, our national champion. And we had the first ever National Chess Championships in May this year at GBSS, and Raniel was the winner of the national competition. So he's our first national champ, actually. And you see close to him with the green and the glasses, that's Jenard Roberts. Jenard is a teacher at the Boca Secondary School. And he was the second runner-up in the national competition. And to the extreme right, you have Vladimir Mendez. And Vladimir is a teacher at Presentation Brothers College. In fact, Renel is currently a teacher at the T.A. Marichaud Community College and a former PBC student. So, as I tease them, student beat teacher in the national championships, because Vladimir, again, was one of the teachers of Renel. And let me just pause to say here, again, as you would appreciate, Mike, the importance of organization and having chess clubs in a school, because Renel was a member of the PBC Chess Club. The Grenada Chess Federation supplied the PBC Chess Club with chess sets. In fact, once I went to speak to the students, and they allowed me to speak to the entire student body on chess. And Vladimir as a teacher, was able to be a guide and one of the leaders of the PBC Chess Club. As a result, you have on the 5 members you see there, in male members, you have 2 teachers, 2 students of TAMCC who were formerly students of PBC, who were in PBC's chess club.
Right.
And next to the teacher, Jenard Roberts, we have Javon James, who is now a student of the TAMCC, and Javon was in the PBC chess club. In front, in the yellow, we have Renale on the left. On the right is Tyler Thomas, and he's a Form 5 student of PBC, a member of the chess club. And that entire team has been chosen on merit. So the top 3 players in the national tournament, you have Renale, national champion, you have Vladimir, first runner-up, and you have Jenard, second runner-up. And so they are on the team. And then we had a playoff, because there were some who could not participate in the competition at the time with the exams and everything. So we had a playoff subsequently, and Javon and Tyler Thomas, the one on the right in front, emerged as the 2 players, champion players in the playoff. So it was a democratic selection based on merit, and you have actually 4 people out of the 5 who are associated with the PBC Chess Club, and are now in TAMCC, and TAMCC also has a chess club. And
chess club, right.
Yes, Kwabena Amen, who is in charge of chess in schools and communities. There he's very passionate about chess, and when people come in TAMCC, the first thing you hear from Kwabena is chess. So whoever the ones in TAMCC are in Tamsisi Chess Club. So it's no wonder they have been excelling the way they have been excelling and have gotten selection for the first ever Grenada team to go to the Olympiad. And I mean, in just 5 years, Grenada is fielding a full female team and a full male team. A team comprises 10 players. And whether it's a United States team, a team from Germany, from Paris, from Russia, it's 10. So Grenada is actually fielding all 10 players. And as the folks from the federation, the more from FIDE and so, they have been saying, listen, several federations there for decades can't even field a full team. And it's amazing that Grenada is fielding a full team to the Olympiad. Our captain and head of delegation is Carlisle Glean Jr. And so Junior is a non-playing captain and head of delegation. Right. And he's a long-standing player. And the captain and coach of the female team is actually a South African lady who was our coach, the special coach for the female team between March and June. So we requested.
Is that in the picture?
No, sorry, I'll get a photo. It's Denise Boha. But we'll send some photos over the weekend. These are just the because we had an official photographer at the event, and he will be supplying the photos later today. But I'll send a photo of Coach Denise, and the team is on a high. We have been preparing them apart from the training the females got. There was a special 1 week intense training program about a week ago for the entire team. So they're on a high. And for the last 4 days, between Tuesday evening from 6:30 to 8 most nights, we do special briefings with the team to prepare them psychologically for Budapest, to give them the opportunity to ask questions, to clarify issues. And on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, we had special guests to speak with them. So, for example, on Wednesday night, we had Ian Wilkinson, one of the leading lawyers in a King's Counsel in Jamaica, and he spoke to us, and it was really great. Practical tips. Ian was the president for over 10 years of the Jamaica Chess Federation, and he's going to the Olympiad too, and this is his 13th Olympiad. So he was well placed to brief our team on what to expect, the do's and don'ts, very simple, lively style. Then on Thursday night, we had Alice Thomas Roberts. As you know, Alice's name is associated with protocol. She's our local expert on protocol. And of course, our team is traveling far away. They are all ambassadors to Grenada ambassadors for Grenada as we repeat every single session. And therefore, it's not about themselves individually, but about country. And we had Alice speaking on international courtesies and etiquette. And that was, again, a great session, practical, and she shared her presentation with us after. So that is one of the documents. Every player has a folder, and that is one of the important documents
that's good.
In the folder. And then last night, it was a long day for them yesterday because we had the media briefing, the presentation of the team to the media. And last night, we had our last briefing session, and we brought on Trishan Richards. Trishan is the president of the St. Lucia Chess Federation. But even more than that, she is a member of the FIDE Commission for Women in Chess, and in fact has been very instrumental in getting these special training sessions that I referred to for the females, very passionate about chess and the development of chess throughout the region. So she came in last night and again gave a very lively presentation full of practical tips. And so the team for the last 4 nights, we have been preparing them every single day, psychologically, apart from technically on the one hand, but psychologically to prepare for this particular trip. So everybody's on a high. The minister was with us yesterday, and the Prime Minister is expected to be on the airport tomorrow when they leave for Budapest.
Okay, there's one photo I want to show you and to speak about. Is that one of the, well, at the time 8-year-old, well, or 9-year-old?
Actually, Mike, these are the 2 youngest female players. On the left is Toriel, who is a 9-year-old, and I said this is a second trip for chess. And on the right is Nazia James. And Nazia, very brave young lady. In fact, in our briefing sessions, as I pointed out, she has the most questions. And that is at the National Championships in May.
Right.
And in chess is not just about playing games, but it's about sportsmanship. It's about sportsmanship. It's about relationships, connections. It's about discipline. It's about focus. It's about concentration. So even though you're not playing it competitively, and that is one of the, those are some of the qualities we try to ingrain in the young people. And this photo captures these 2 young players shaking hands, irrespective of who won, who lost, but shaking hands at the end of a game, right? It's one of our poster photos we'll use because we want to emphasize the importance of sport. As I always say, Kirani is a great runner, Olympian. He came first, second, and third. He got gold in 2012. But even more so, what people remember Kirani as is as a sportsman.
Yeah.
His conduct on the field after he wins or loses a race. He congratulates everybody. And that is part of the kind of culture we want to develop in young people. And chess, again, is one of the roots to capture our young people out there. Everybody criticizes young people, says all kinds of things. And of course, yes, but if they don't get guidance, if we don't give them the guidance and prepare them, we'll always be complaining. So that's part of what we want to do in chess. And that's why for the first 4 years, we didn't focus on competition. In fact, Grandmaster Short was always in contact with me. You all need to do competitions. We wanted to get people exposed to the game, to learn the game, and to ingrain these principles. So now we have taken off. In 2024, it has been our competition year. And imagine this young federation can field at the Olympiad, which is the highest level of competition globally.
But it's the Olympics. It's the Olympics of chess, right?
It's the Olympics of chess. That's it. And we can have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old going to the Olympiad. It's just a reflection of what chess and playing chess and having chess organized can do for young people.
Right.
Yes.
That is important. And let me just take some congratulations. June Paul is saying congratulations, Team Grenada. Angus says, good going, Ruggles. Best of luck to the team. And Kennedy Phillip, that's Twit, say congrats. That's a win already. Yeah, I think it's a win already. But how do you think, right? And going back to this this photo here, how do you think this, as a poster photo, can inspire and encourage more young people getting involved in chess, especially at the primary and secondary school levels?
Well, even every time I see the photo,
yes,
I must fall in love with it, because that is exactly, it's not about winning. Actually, in the chess camps up to this year, you know, the young players especially, when they get into the game, they're very passionate, and we have had like people crying when they lose. Like when I say crying and they're
Really?
angry. In fact, there were two of them I had to counsel this year, right? Because when you walk around the board and see this guy vex, little 9-year, 8-year-old, he vex, he have his arm folded, mouth stretched. What happened? The other guy beat him. And they come out there, you know, so it's for them, it's about winning. And when you lose, it's a problem. And so what we again emphasize is about the game, and it's not about losing. You be a sportsman, whether you win, lose, or draw. It's about the game. You show respect to the other player. You congratulate the other player. And we have made great strides with that, because we have had some of the young people who participated in our very first chess camp 4 years ago. And they come every year. So we have moved it now from a chess for beginners to a chess for all level of players. So for example, this year, the Olympic team was there. And we have established relationships with other chess federations, and especially with Barbados. There is a gentleman there, Kelvin Daniel. He is the head of delegation for Barbados to this year's Olympiad. He's an international arbiter, a FIDE trained arbiter, and Kevin is as much as a member of Grenada Chess, like Barbados Chess, because he's our chief technical person. We brought him down for the competition to manage our competition this year. We brought him down also for our chess camp last year, and we brought him back for a chess camp this year. And it's made a world of a difference. His professionalism, FIDE level activities that we have in. So he has come here about 4 times already. And that's what we are trying to do, is to link up with the experts. I must say in 2022, we hosted a gentleman by the name of Leoncho Garcia from Spain. And actually, he was at the Olympiad in India, Chennai, India, in 2022. And the FIDE Congress, and Carla Iglino, our vice president, attended. And through the connection that Carla made with him, he agreed to come to Grenada. And he spent 10 days here. And we had to meet with principals of schools, because the idea is to form chess clubs. And his focus is not competition. His focus is chess in education. Translated is how you use chess as an educational tool in the classroom to get students to perform better. So he spoke with the majority of principals, both from secondary schools and primary schools. And that, again, is part of our initiative. We are trying to get coaches, because we ourselves can't do it here. Everybody in this federation is extra busy. Actually, don't really have time. But we try to make the time, because we recognize that this is important. This is important for our youth. In fact, my colleague Ian Wilkinson from Jamaica, when he was pressing me, you know, to try to assist with the organization of chess in Grenada, and he was making the point, when the Chess Federation was formed, in the first 10 years, they had 50,000 new players, and you use chess as part of a crime-fighting tool. So part of what Leoncho did when he came here, we brought him to the prison. He spoke to prisoners, prison officers, the result of which we have the prisoners participating in an international prisoners competition organized by FIDE. And Grenada, the Grenada prison, is one of 3 prisons alone in the entire Caribbean that participates in that competition. And we're preparing them for participating this year. It's coming up soon. And we are in the process of getting a team registered. And, you know, one of the points I always remember that Leoncho made to me with chess and his experience, because he's one of the foremost FIDE experts on chess in education. He says he used the example of a prisoner in Mexico. And he said that was the most dangerous prisoner in the prisons in Mexico. And chess transformed that guy. Chess calmed him. Chess not only transformed, but reformed him. He moved from the worst prisoner, the most feared prisoner, to among the top prisoners to emulate in the prison. And I always remember his example. He always spoke about that. So the way even in prison, you know, in prison people are locked away. People are you know, locked up there. And as part of the reform program, chess is one of the things that you can introduce, because again, when you have people in prison, what you want is for them to come out better people. When they come out in prison, they are not more qualified for crime, but they are transformed and can they come out with greater self-esteem, dignity,
for the betterment of society.
Precisely. And so we want to use chess. So it's really a lot. It's really a lot, and it's been a labor of love in a sense, because many times you have to dip in our respective pockets to make things happen. But we are hoping to establish a greater link. Well, we have done so with the Ministry of Sport, and also the acting Minister of Sport, Honorable Delma Thomas, was with the team yesterday for the media briefing. She's very enthusiastic. In fact, she's coming down on Sunday again when they are leaving for Budapest. And, you know, we have that enthusiasm. Let me especially single out my friend Bunny too, Bunny Wilson, president of the Olympic Association. And I describe Bunny now as one of our honorary members, because we have been inviting him to most of the activities, including the press briefing yesterday, and he has been very responsive, you know, very, very encouraging and inspiring, and you know, has pledged support too for chess. So more and more, we're bringing in more and more people. We are hoping to have some sponsors on board, like permanent sponsors too. So for things like as the chess camp and other activities, because we don't want to have just a chess camp in GBSS, but we want to have like a camp we can do in Grenville and other centers of the country. So we give, and you know, we have something where every weekend people can play chess in different centers throughout the country.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, I know Roger Duncan said, congratulations, Team Grenada. Being able to view this live will help augment interest for the game in Grenada. And he's saying being able to view the Olympiad live, I meant.
Yes. Well, I'm particularly happy to hear from Roger because of where he works too. Yes. I'm happy that Roger is listening. Roger, please say a word. I'm awaiting a word. Please say a word.
I love that.
Yes, I'm very happy that you're on.
Nice intervention, Roger. Pele Davo says, all the best, Team Grenada. And our good friend Ray Roberts say, well, Lincoln is right. I know he's given his good friend Toro deputy talk. He said, we need more like the KC. Speaking of Ruggles Ferguson, absolutely impressed with you and the chess team performance. I'm certainly they have been following the performances of
yes. And Ray has been very encouraging and supportive. In fact, Ray came up when we had the national competition at GBSS in May, and he even handed out some of the certificates of participation. So thank you, Ray. And I remember that we have to do some special lessons in chess. We'll organize.
One of the things, I mean, thinking about is that how we can make, just as how we see, for example, the dominoes, the guys getting involved in the dominoes and they have this interest, how we can get chess as well, not just among the schools, but even the adults. I know probably many years ago, and you probably know that, I mean, as a young boy growing up, one of the things that you get for Christmas, is your little boards, your board games. And chess was one of those things, even though it was very amateur itself. But how we can get that back into the whole stigma, and get it even at the homes, they're playing chess at home, where it can be emulated to the schools and into competitions and things like that. So.
Right. Again, important question, Mike, and I want to point out here the importance of parents and the role that parents play. So, for example, and I made the point at the media briefing yesterday, there is one of the a member of the female team, and I should also have pointed out that there is Acacia Lewis. She is a student of the St. Mark's Secondary School. She has just entered Form 5. And Acacia is our open female champion. And she came down. We had the competition over a weekend. And she hails from Shantimel. And her father brought her down. And her father stayed with her. And then suddenly he was playing chess himself. And her parents, and I single him out as a father because he was there throughout the weekend, very supportive, and got into the game himself. And her parents, her mother too, in fact, they were all at the briefing yesterday, encouraging them. And we encourage people, for example, to buy chess sets as part of gifts.
Right.
Students in schools, we encourage teachers and principals, and that's what we are going, especially when this team comes back, because it certainly would provide an inspiration to others, but to use it to get the chess clubs going in schools. It is so important to have students involved in extracurricular activities, because what we want to do, and next year might be too early to do it, but we want to have a chess intercall among secondary school students.
Certainly.
So just as you have, athletics and so, you have a chess intercall, and you have the different schools playing. So once you have a club structure where people can join, and I can tell you, I mean, every day I get calls from adults who are interested in playing chess. From several of the workplaces. In fact, I want an apology for a particular lady in a workplace in St. George's who I was supposed to get back to because she wants to play in an organized way. She wants to play chess. And so once you must have to play chess, you must have, of course, chess boards. If you had to play face-to-face, and FIDE has assisted us with boards, but we need boards to be able to distribute to all secondary and primary schools, not just secondary, because basically, even though we have the 9-year-old and 12-year-old has just entered convent, but they started to play chess in primary schools. So we want to be able to give at least 2 or 3 boards to every primary school, every secondary school in the country, and also to have centers. We have identified people in St. Andrews especially, and we are trying to get a venue in St. Andrews where people can just, on weekends, they go in to play chess. And that is what will encourage people. The other thing, and I must make that point, chess is probably the only competitive game, and I believe it is only, I'm just being guarded here, where an 8-year-old can play an 80-year-old.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
be the
And be the
80-year-old or get licks from the 80-year-old. And on that note too, one of the areas that we are looking at is introducing chess in the elderly homes throughout the country. In all those elderly homes, because it is
relaxation.
I can speak authoritatively, precisely, and it is said to be one of the mechanisms, and I don't quote me scientifically on it, but it is commonly said that it slows down memory loss and memory dementia and memory associated Alzheimer's and so. Why? Because just as athletics, football, cricket, that's physical activity and exercise. We don't mentally exercise. We don't engage in mental exercise. And, the cases of dementia and Alzheimer's and these things all over is alarming, even among younger people. And chess is mental exercise. And it's a game that can teach you strategy, patience, tolerance, all these qualities. And therefore, in the elderly homes, we want to put a project together where we can have during the day, instead of people just sitting down there watching one another in these homes, they can play chess, get mentally active, even get back in a competitive spirit. So that's one of the advantages of chess. Young, whether you're young or old. So for example, in this last GBSS camp, we said, okay, the ages 7 and upwards. And somebody called and said, well, listen, can my 6-year-old daughter attend? And we said, sure, and loved it, and played chess, and played so it's not you don't limit the game in terms of age, whether the older or the younger. And secondly, it is also probably the only game that can be played both physically and virtually. Lots of competitions during COVID were played virtually, and you can still, so for example, the International Prisoners Competition, that competition is played virtually. So you can compete physically, you can compete virtually, you can compete at any age group, and it's an excellent mental stimulant. It's mental. As one of our colleagues, I think Kwabena, Eamon himself, described it as the mental gym. Just as you go in gym for physical exercise, you play chess for mental exercise.
All right. So on a closing note now, just some comments there, and thank you very much, Ruggles. The mother of Tyler George is saying, my son is on the team, and I'm happy to see his progress in terms of discipline, focus, and concentration attributable to chess and its importance. So that's the says all the best, Team Grenada. My son is Tyler. I think you
right, Tyler Thomas. Yes.
Yeah.
Tyler. And Tyler is a Form 5 student at college. Very passionate, very disciplined, and we expect to see a lot from Tyler in the future. And what we want to do with this team too is a young team to really monitor the development and make sure, in other words, you don't go to the Olympiad and come back and just fall into ill discipline or so. We want to monitor and guide them throughout their process in school, and otherwise, so that they can be good examples for society.
All right, thank you. And finally, just on a little humor part, Chenny saying, tell Ruggles when he reaches the level of Gary Kasparov, I will play him a game on chess on live television. Chenny,
I will call you, Chenny. I will call you. Not too long from now.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Ruggles. All the best.
Yes, thanks, Mike. And thanks for your support. I know you have been promoting chess. In fact, I just remember you interviewed Leoncho Garcia
Garcia,
when
yes.
he came to Grenada.
To Grenada, yeah. Thank you very much. I
Yes,
appreciate
that's
it.
just
Right.
yes.
Okay then. So guys, that's Ruggles Ferguson.
Yes,
Wow. And we want you to continue
you
to
did
support the Chess Federation.
and good day, listeners.
Yeah,
And
yeah, thank you very much. Okay then. So Ruggles Ferguson live from St. George's, Grenada, speaking about the Chess Federation and our chess Olympians who are preparing to depart for the Chess Olympiad in Budapest, Hungary on Sunday. They leave on Sunday morning. Wow. Yes. Thank you very much, Ruggles and our chess players. Well, I'm so impressed to see, let me go back at that. Thank you, Pele. Let me go back at this. This to me is certainly, as Ruggles says, it's is their poster photo. And I just love it, I love it. Yeah. And I wish to see, and probably folks, if you're interested and probably from a school and you want to get involved, please contact Ruggles or any member of the Chess Federation. And certainly they will provide you with the the boards and the equipment that is necessary for playing of chess, the involvement of chess. The teachers are important, the parents are important. If you can get chess playing at home among the kids, that will be good, because it'll be probably less time on their phone and on their computer and things like that. So, right? Probably it's a nice way of getting them away from the social media and things like that. Get them involved in something like chess, if they can be home playing, chess against each other, and you can have mother against father, brother against sister, all these sort of things. I think that will be important. Yeah, thank you very much. Folks, that's all for this weekend. Chenny and those guys. Yeah, thank you, Angus. Thank you, Chenny. Hey, Pele, yes, thanks very much. And looking forward, Pele, I hope there's a time that will come when I need for us to have a chat. We just need to have a broad discussion on sports, okay? That time will come soon, Pele. Don't feel you getting away, You have been lingering in the doldrums for quite a while, but the time will come. Everyone had their time. You need to get your time soon. Really, that's what I'm speaking about. Yes, folks. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure being with you on a weekend. Hopefully, be around next weekend when we talk sports again. Remember, well, Grenada won 2-0. Yes, I had to say that. And that's in football, Nations League football. There are lots of football going on this weekend. Yeah, we have Premier League T20 cricket also on. We have a couple of Grenadians, participating as well. Importantly, though, next Friday and Saturday will be the finals of the Diamond League, right? We have on Friday, we'll have on Saturday. We have Lyndon Victor in the javelin and Kirani James in the men's 400 meters. The winner of those respective events will be crowned the Diamond League champion. By the way, even though I said Lyndon Victor, no, sorry. It's Anderson Peters, sorry. Anderson Peters will be going into the javelin. I said Lyndon because I was thinking Lyndon should be involved somewhere the other. Yeah. So Anderson Peters in the javelin. We'll hear that. Even though Anderson is leading, he went into the finals with the most points, I think 29 points. However, that is as far as it gets. Because even though he went in with 29 points as the number one javelin thrower for the Diamond League, the winner of the event come next week actually is the winner of the Diamond League for javelin. So he has to win. He has to win. Likewise, Kirani went in as, I think, number 4 or 5 or 3, 4, 5, somewhere there in terms of the 400 meters. If he wins the event, he wins the Diamond League 400 meters. That's how it is, right? And by the way, there's no gold, silver, bronze, folks, in this thing. Diamond League is about money, right? Olympics, gold, silver, bronze. Yeah, you have a thing of it. This person with the gold, this person with the silver. At the Diamond League, the winner wins the Diamond League. It's the winner of the Diamond League. I heard people say, another gold for this person, another silver. I mean, yeah, it comes in, you win. So, you normally a gold, a silver, a bronze. But in Diamond League, is about money, right? Money. Olympics, you have gold, you have silver, you have bronze. In that's why at the Diamond League, you just see they give the flowers to the winner and blah blah and things like that. So at the Olympics and the World Championships, you have the podium with the prize given gold, silver, bronze, right? Yeah, so that's how it is, right? Diamond League, you have a Diamond League winner. No gold, no silver, no bronze. We just say it because of it, right? Thank you very much, folks. That's all for this time. Hope be with you come next week, God's willing, for another program. Until then, have yourself a pleasant weekend.